So I'll get up around 6 to 8 a.m. Get up out of bed. Just get a nice good look at myself. Then I'll go to the bathroom and I'll weigh myself. Head downstairs and make breakfast. So for breakfast, I like eggs, egg substitute, and oats. So I'll get started, weigh out my oats. Right now I'm having 70 grams of oats for breakfast. I'll put in 1 or 2 packets of some sort of sweetener, whether it's Sweet Low, Splenda, or Stevia. And then just a little bit of cinnamon. If you're really strict about your counting, then you should probably track this. I like to fill this bowl with a ton of water and I'll put it in the microwave for about 2 minutes. It ends up taking a few minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes just to cool down. So I do this first, put that in the microwave, and then I get my eggs started. I like to eat my eggs on top of eggs. So what I do is I cook my egg substitute first, put that on the plate, and then I cook my eggs sunny side up, about medium, halfway cooked, halfway yolky, and I put that on top. So right now I have a certain eating plan, you could say, for a training day, and a certain eating plan for a non-training day. On my training day, I'm eating a little bit bigger breakfast than my non-training day. And the reason for that is so I just have less food in me and I can begin my day a little bit faster and I don't need as much time to digest the food for when I go and train. Now if I'm not training, then I have a bigger breakfast simply to just get more food out of the way right early in the day. So here we go, 160 grams of this. On a non-training day, I'll have like 400 grams of egg substitute. So this is getting ready to get going. Pan is nice and hot. Here we have the oats, and then I'll constantly just be kind of stirring it around. It's really warm right now. All right, egg substitute is done now. Put it on the plate like that. I put a top on so it kind of cooks it all throughout. Eggs are all done now, and I'm gonna take my eggs, put them on top of my eggs. Season it with some onion right here. Then we got garlic and some garlic salt. Last but not least, pepper. And I'll eat this with Cholula or Frank's Red Hot original hot sauce. Alright guys, so in conclusion, breakfast was oats, egg substitute, 3 eggs. I also have 3 fish oil pills for a total of 22 grams of fat, 50 carbs, and 44 grams of protein. Alright, so it's a few hours later now. I'm ready to go to the gym. I got my pre-workout. Only when I'm cutting will I have branched chain amino acids. And honestly, this is just luxury. This is like the tip of the iceberg type ingredient that I add. But since I'm pretty much on point with like most of my stuff, that's why I add BCAAs. So I'll have like 2 scoops or about 10 grams of protein or 10 grams of BCAAs while I'm working out, and also a Gatorade. A little bit during my pre-workout shake, so I put a little bit in there. And then most of this just while I'm working out, since my workouts are pretty intense and long. And then for the post-workout, on the way home from the gym, I'll have an apple, I'll have a banana, and I'll have 2 scoops of whey protein. And I'll put that in the same, shake cup. Drink down the way home, and then when I get home, that's when I'll go ahead and make my next meal. Alright guys, I'm back from the gym. So far today I've already had about 1,200 calories from the breakfast to the surrounding workout kind of meals. Now that I'm home, I'm gonna have another meal. This is it's supposed to be my russet potato, chicken, and salad meal, but sometimes I'll just have more sweet potato instead. So with this meal I got about 240 grams of sweet potato, I'll have a 6 to 8 ounce chicken breast. This one was about 8 ounces or so. So it'll be a little more protein than I guess normal, you could say. But for right now, I actually give myself a range of protein just in case, because in the past what I do is I make sure every piece of chicken, you know, was exactly 6 ounces cooked or whatever. But now I'm just gonna let my protein goal for the day kind of be a floating target, anywhere between 225, 245, maybe even up to 250. So that allows me to simply just freaking eat a chicken breast without having to cut off a piece and put it in the fridge like I used to in the past. That aside, tangent aside, 8 ounce chicken breast, 240 grams sweet potato, 100 grams of spinach. I have about 100 grams of cherry tomato right there, and also 150 grams of these baby carrots, and about 15 milliliters, 15 grams of balsamic vinegar. And it tastes really good. I just toss this up and eat that. The preparation for the sweet potato is super easy. I'll show you guys how to do that right now. Come here and watch this. Just go ahead and cut into it. Chop it up like this. Chop it up like that. There we go. And then what you'll want to do is you'll want to sprinkle some water on this so it gets even more mashy. And back it up a little bit. And then just put a bunch of garlic. Throw some garlic, salt, pepper, and some onion powder. There you go. And we have water right here. I'll add a little bit of water to that. That way we can mash it up a little bit. And I'll just mash this up like that. For the chicken, I like hot sauce, or sometimes I like, boom, some barbecue sauce. And I'll add that, and what I'll do is I'll kind of just eyeball it because I kind of know how much barbecue sauce equals what. But for those who don't really know that, you probably want to weigh this if you're gonna eat this. Hi, Max. But basically, if I'll have barbecue sauce, I don't account for this on my piece of paper. So what I'll do is if I do eat this, I'll have a little bit less sweet potato now, or a little bit less sweet potato later on in the day for the next meal, so that you know, this doesn't put me over my target of around 300 carbs for the day. So once I have this meal, this is about another 600-ish calorie meal. The macros for this meal is 7 fat, 76 carbs, 54 protein.
It's just hard and stressful. Yeah. Can I make a suggestion? Then you can sleep later. No, I can't do that.
Alright guys, now we're on meal 4, which consists of about 8 ounces of tilapia, and that's basically what you're looking at right there, so we're all clear. And what's supposed to be 265 grams of sweet potato, but if you guys remember earlier, I made an adjustment. I threw out some barbecue sauce in the chicken, so I decided to take away some sweet potato. It's freaking delicious. Oh, by the way, huge tip. This is the biggest tip for tilapia, guys. Besides, you know, having some good seasonings while you're cooking it, some onion, garlic when you're cooking your tilapia, whether it's baking, grilling, or whatever, frying, some salt and pepper. But when you're actually eating your tilapia, try it with some regular white distilled vinegar. Basically, I'll just demonstrate real quick. But just flick off a piece, and then go ahead and dip that into your vinegar right there, like that. And then break off a piece of your sweet potato while this is still in your mouth. The combination of flavor, like, it's hard. Like, this is actually good. So it's really funny because like, this is better. This tastes much better than like this is right on par with like Chipotle and all the other, you know, foods that I really enjoy eating. So it's kind of a shock to me, like, why I don't eat this more often. I really don't know why. Anyways, oh, by the way, guys, something that I also will do for this meal is sometimes, like, if I want to have a little bit more volume, more food, I guess, I'll have a bag of broccoli, like a steamable bag of broccoli, and I'll just toss the whole thing inside of the microwave. And like a full bag of broccoli, I'm looking at about 16 carbs, and I'll basically subtract that from like the sweet potato, or I'll take away Greek yogurt from my next meal or something like that. And that, you know, I've done that like once or twice. And it's just really up to me if I want some more vegetables for this meal, if I want to like get a little more full. in terms of like, you know, my stomach full. All right, then after this meal, basically an hour or however long after this meal, I'll have my final meal, which is my 5th meal. Last but not least, guys, the last thing I'm eating today, I'm gonna have 50 grams of almonds, and I have 2 Greek yogurts right here. So what I'm gonna do is sprinkle 25 grams on each one. It's crazy how quickly your fat sources add up in terms of calories and fats. That little bit of almonds right there, that's 28 grams of fat. Do the math, multiply by 9, that's how many calories you got. This meal right here, 28 grams of fat, 29 carbs, and 36 grams of protein for 478 calories. 478 right here. So this pretty much caps me off for the day, guys. That's all the food I'm eating. In summary, about 2,713 calories, 64 grams of fat, 300 carbs, and depending on the size of my tilapia, the size of my chicken, I could have anywhere between 235 to 245 protein, or even, you know, down towards 225, or even high as like 255. So it just depends on the size of the meat. And that's it, guys. Macros, once again, about 65 fat, 300 carbs, 225 to 250 protein. And I'm back again with my shirt on. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. More good things coming. And hopefully I'll see you guys in just a few weeks, much leaner than I am right now.